Oh, hello. I didn't see you there. Welcome back to... We were just arguing about how the president should be elected. Let's listen in.
No, proportional. The framers would have wanted it to have been proportional.
Presidential electors vote according to and in proportion to the popular vote.
No, they would have wanted winner take all, just the rightful when Bush was a Muslim. This was that 9/11 wipe. I just can't. The winner of the popular election gets all the electoral votes in the state.
No, they would have wanted...
Well, how about that? Now, what would the framers have really wanted? Let's find out, shall we?
That's it. Congress should elect the president and vice president. Okay, we'll do it by popular vote.
It was decided that the presidential electors would act as free agents in choosing the best qualified president and vice president. Each state would have as many electors as it did senators and representatives in Congress. Each would cast 2 votes, each for a different candidate. The candidate with the most votes is to become president. The runner-up, vice president. This electoral college allowed the framers to live together in peace and harmony. But everything changed when the election of 1800 attacked. Around the year 1800, the country split apart between the Federalists and the Democratic Republicans, much like our two-party system today. Electors were chosen specifically so that they would vote for a certain party's nominees. In the 1800 election, this caused a tie between Thomas Jefferson and Aaron Burr, since presidential and vice presidential elections shared a single ballot. As a result of this, the 12th Amendment was brought into play. The president and vice president were to be elected separately. It also introduced the principle of nominating electors who pledged to vote for that party's ticket. Electoral votes would automatically be casted with these pledges.
But that's not the only option. Some states still use not using closed meetings of the party's members to help select delegates for the National Convention.
More than 3/4 of delegates from both parties come from presidential primaries, elections in which a party's voters choose some or all of that party's delegates that are to go to the National Convention and express a preference among various contenders for their party's presidential nomination. But it has many flaws. Most of the time, primaries are held on earlier dates, often the same day, Super Tuesday. This emphasizes name recognition rather than an informative campaign that displays the actual principles of the party.
I like that guy. This guy is my guy.
Shut up.
If I had the guy,
Shut up.
guy,
While caucuses are the oldest method of choosing delegates, they're rarely used anymore and focus more on the local level. The most notable caucus is the Iowa caucus because it's the first one of the election season. The goal of national conventions is to name the party's presidential and vice presidential candidates, adopt the party's platform, and bring the various personalities and factions together. While they are often bland and made for television, national conventions are important and reflect the unity and compromise essential to American politics. The keynote address is made, the nominations are made, Votes are cast on these nominations, and the first contender to reach the majority wins and will become the candidate for that party's election campaign. Rather than voting for the actual president, people vote for the electors, usually on a winner-take-all basis. Once chosen, these electors are expected to vote for whatever specific party's candidates. This is set by the 12th Amendment. Actually, the formal election doesn't even happen until early January, when the President of the Senate counts all of the electoral votes before a joint session of Congress. If no candidate wins the majority, 270 votes out of the 538, the election is thrown into the House of Representatives, in which every state has one vote and votes from the Electoral College's top 3 candidates.